And welcome back to coverage here of Pro Tour Lorwyn Eclipse. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe. I'm with Paul Cheon. Thank you so much for joining us here for limited coverage. We just watched Booster Draft, and now we get to see this deck in action in a little bit of a rematch, by the way, from our undefeated last match yesterday between Takumi Matsuura and Marco Belacca. It was Marco who put the thumping on Takumi yesterday, but maybe a little revenge as Takumi's got a pretty nice deck. Let's take a look at the list here. Marco just drafted a mid-level Merfolk deck, I would say.
Yep.
This is not a bad Magic the Gathering deck. It just lacks the super high power ceiling that you'd hope.
Right, like this is a completely functional deck with interaction and a good curve. And, you know, with the right draws and, you know, timing and removal spells, well, you can still definitely put together a nice finish. It is not a train wreck by any means.
That's right. On the other side of the table, Takumi Matsuura drafted Kithkin. Ooh, right off the bat, I see some highlights there. You see a Johnny Outland Chaperone at the top. There's Thought Weft Imbuer, 2 Thought Weft Lieutenant.
And a Bristlebane Battler here with some interaction. Yeah, there's a Spry and Mighty in this deck as well. So this deck looks very, very solid. Not a huge fan of the double Crypt swap, but he might be a little bit light on interaction. So maybe he's got that in there. But yeah, I mean, there's some power there as well. I mean, this is what we're talking about, right? Both decks have totally fine mana curves, but one deck has just a little, or excuse me, a lot more power.
That's right. Yeah, 2 Crypt swap is rough. I think ideal number 0. It actually is really tough in this matchup too, because, you know, the dream with it is to kill their bomb.
Right.
And then reduce it down to
Marco, what happens when they don't have a bomb?
Marco doesn't have any. Both
You're
players.
trading their 2/2 Merfolk into a 1/1 Merfolk.
Exactly. Okay, we see Wanderbrine Preacher here for Belacca to kick off the festivities.
All right. Marco choosing not to block is, if Takumi doesn't play anything big, you can just gain that life back and put you ahead on the race.
Go.
Surly Farrier. And probably a Silver Guild. No island here for Marco Belacca. So actually can't play anything this turn. That is huge. Can play the Sky Swimmer next turn.
Yeah, and he has to think about that, because if the trade happens here, which it looks like it will.
Oh, and that is rough.
Yeah, then that's a mana disappearing for Marco.
Yeah, Marco was hoping he didn't go for the block there, so you can at least use that creature to do some convoking here. And Takumi still has a Kithkin in play, so he will have the ability to just run out a Mist Meadow Council this turn. Probably wants to cast it before attacking in case there's a removal spell for the Shield Bearer.
And that's exactly what he does. He gets his card.
And no flash creature that you're too concerned about, but that's rough.
Is there an island here for Belacca? Belacca's on 16 lands, and there's an island off the top.
You get to play Shore Lurker.
Yeah, and that'll let him surveil 1.
Right.
I think he's thinking.
And next turn you can double spell here by playing Peddler plus Blossom Bind.
And he's kept it on top and then passed, so something good there. Maybe another island.
Right. So you play a land. Takumi has a land. You can play out the Wildvine Pummeler right now because it would just be a giant creature, and then you just go, hey, I'm happy with this trade if you want.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do.
But this is nice. Marco has a very, very good target for the Blossom Bind in the Pummeler. So you can fire that off. Although if you do, you will not be able to double spell this turn because you don't have that blue source. So it's like, which card do you want to play?
He kept a Gravelgill Scoundrel on top, it looks like.
Huh.
So maybe thinking he could go Scoundrel, Land, Sky Swimmer?
I feel like there's just so many better draws there.
Right.
Instead of a Scoundrel on top, you can find a Spiral into Solitude. You can just find so many better options. And now this is a tough spot because Takumi's got that Timid Shield Bearer. That's a, you know, an active +1/+1 for your board. Also, by the way, that Spry and Mighty in Takumi's hand is going to be excellent if he fires it off. It's going to draw him 4 cards. The Pummeler's a 6/5, right?
Yeah.
So, and then it's a difference between your largest power creature and your lowest power creature.
Is it toughness or power? Oh, look. There it is. Thank you for that. The power's difference. Wow, so 4 cards. And by the way, Blossom Bind not good at stopping that.
No, absolutely not here. And Takumi's going, oh, you cast Thirst this turn? All right, you might be in a little bit of trouble.
By the way, he discarded the Scoundrel.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, and completely tapped out too is Marco Belacca, so Matsuura just gets to go nuts with his Spry and Mighty.
Yeah. I mean, you just get to completely refill your hand. The other question is basically, either you choose to cast the Spry and Mighty or attack, offer the trade, and just play out the Moon Vigil Adherence just to continue adding to the board. So lots of good options. And yeah, he's going to just play, just keep playing more creatures here.
I just cannot resist the shields being down. I mean, you get in for a bunch of damage, too.
The problem is Marco has to keep playing creatures here, right? Just to stay afloat. So it's going to be really tough for Marco to have some way to interact with the Spry and Mighty anyways.
The Adherents come down. Yeah, this is... There is no... I mean, this set does not have sweepers.
Right.
If you fall this far behind... You're not going to be able to grind your way back through card advantage.
Yeah, that Adherence is a 5. It's a 4-mana 5/5 Trampler. I've had it be bigger, but about 5/5 is kind of the average, which is just insane for an uncommon.
Totally, and this is, you know, it will be bigger most likely by the time it attacks too.
Right. So I suppose you can go Peddler, Land, keep up Glamour Might. Just to slow things down.
That's actually pretty good.
And then if that's the case, does Takumi run out the Spry and Mighty? Or does he feel like something is up? I feel like alarm bell should be ringing here for Takumi. It's like, okay, you hit your 6th land. All you did was play a 3-drop. You have to have something here. Protective Response, a keep out, some kind of trick here.
Especially the turn after you played a Thirst. Like, you got, and discarded a creature to keep all those cards.
The thing is, even if there's a removal spell, you still get to draw 4 cards.
Yes.
Right? So it's not even the end of the world if somehow they manage to tap down your 2/2 here.
There it is. Spry and Mighty.
Yep. They both get trample. Yeah, this is going to be brutal.
And this is on resolution.
Yep. Both creatures get what, +4/+4 in trample, and you draw 4 cards?
So which 2 is he choosing?
It looks like the Mist Meadow Council and the Timid Shield Bearer.
So that's only
so it's only
difference.
2. It's only 2, right.
But it does allow a much bigger attack.
Yeah, you get to get in for a lot more.
It's 2.
Okay, so just 2 here.
So Takumi's just assuming that A, he would prefer to have the maximum amount of damage come in.
Right.
And B, that the Adherence is not going to be able to attack this turn.
Right. So the Adherence will be tapped down. It's still the biggest creature, right?
It is, and he could have drawn an extra card.
This is 10 damage coming in.
Right. This is why he did it this way.
Right.
Look at this attack.
This is still kind of a tough block here for Marco Belacca.
Yes, it is.
6/5, 4/4.
6/5 and 4/4 trample.
With trample.
Maybe double block on one of the creatures and just take the other one, because you just don't want to just be throwing away a creature and not get something off the battlefield here. The issue is, how are you going to deal with the Adherence? I suppose you can copy it. There are a fair number of creatures in Marco's graveyard too, right? Although the Wanderbrine creature is exiled?
Yeah, it
correct?
is.
Okay.
So it would be 5, so not quite there.
Yeah.
But with the Sky Swimmers.
Right. It does trample, though, and there's still that Shield Bearer in play. And by the way, Takumi's got a Gallant Foul Knight in hand as well. So that'll give the Mist Meadow Council first strike along with the Shield Bearer.
and definitely unlock more attacks. Yeah, this
Right.
matchup seems very difficult for Marco. Like, even the prospect of chump blocking doesn't look good here.
Right.
So he's going to play a Sky Swimmer, and he could play another.
Yeah, but then you're
he's
just
dead. Right?
you're just dead to the Trampler at that point. I think you just play this and pass and hope to have good blocks. If you play the Changeling, you just die, right? Oh, no, you have an extra blocker here. Okay, okay.
He had a land drop to get.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so now you play the Changeling, and this is a 7/7, it looks like. 5 creatures in play, 2 in the graveyard.
Yeah.
All right.
It's bigger. Although
Yeah, but if you play the
Foul Knight's going to...
it's going to turn into an 8/7 Trampler.
Goodness.
Right, if you play out the Foul Knight.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah, so that would be the one that gets blocked by the Changeling and 1 damage would trample. So that would be lethal.
It's just lethal.
You have to block the Adherence, and then the Timid Shield Bearer gets in for 3. The Mist Meadow Council gets blocked by the Shore Lurker, and that should be exactly enough damage here to finish things off.
Yeah, and with only 2 creatures untapped, there's really nothing for Matsuura to fear here.
Yeah, because currently it's a 6/6 Trampler, then it becomes an 8/7 Trampler.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
With
the
first strike.
Preacher is actually in the graveyard.
It is?
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
It just traded off,
Yeah,
remember?
but it still has to block the Adherence if you play the Foul Knight.
Yes.
And so
And
you're
first
not
strike.
you're not trampling over for anything, and both of your Kithkin will have first strike, so the Shore Lurker will just die. So you're basically going to have not a very good board here.
Right.
But you don't just die.
This means you're not dead on the spot, but it
Right.
means you're dead next turn instead, because Matsuura's board is not going to change here.
Yeah, Marco will go down to 1. Now, the Adherence is not a Kithkin, so it does not have first strike here.
Oh,
it will
it doesn't
trade.
get first strike?
Right, only your
Oh.
Kithkin get first strike.
I did not realize that.
Right, so Marco will go down to 1, keep the 3 creatures in play that are tapped versus the 3 creatures that Takumi has on the right side.
So this isn't quite as devastating, but it's right up there.
Right, so Marco should be at 1 here, as the Timid Shield Bearer is a 3/2, right? If he was at 4, he should be
There
at
we
1.
go. He's
Okay.
at 1 now.
Okay, Glamour
You know,
Might gives you a little bit
this
of...
gets a little more interesting now.
Wait, Mist Meadow Council should not die.
No, it had first strike.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's pretty important, Takumi.
Yeah.
Good call, Judge.
That one is a kill.
I was like, how are there only 2 creatures? I thought there were 3.
Yeah.
And Marco, of course, not in a position to attack,
Boy,
other than the
vigilance,
vigilance.
baby, let's
other,
go.
Other than
Let's
the
go,
vigilance.
Paul. He can at least walk away from this
There
game
you
saying,
go.
I did something.
Yeah, it was not a flawless victory.
20-1.
Oh, that is a runaway together that keeps you from being dead. It's just the stats on these merfolk are just not that impressive. And when you're playing, when you're going up against kind of beefier creatures with that onboard +1/+1 effect of the Timid Shield Bearer, it's just really tough.
Okay.
Yep.
Marco's touched by attacking.
Getting in for 2, and then you can just play out the Sky Swimmer and still keep up Runaway Together, it looks like. Unless he has something else? Because why would he be...
Just a Sky Swimmer.
Okay. Does he have 1 card?
He has Runaway Together left.
Oh, because he can bounce the Glamour Might and then play the Glamour Might.
Yes.
So that's the plan here. He's just trying not to die. He's just going to... Okay, so this is good. So the Thawwef Lieutenant enters. Oh, and that has Trample, so you want to tap that one down. You want to
tap that, not bounce. Oh.
Wait, no, combat. He's going to bounce maybe the Shield Bearer, something here.
Beginning of combat.
Yeah.
Beginning of combat.
Maybe the 3/4. Sure, that's still going to be in a tough spot next turn, but
Right.
you don't die, basically, is what happens.
You're
here.
kind of kicking the can down the road
Right.
here.
You're bouncing one of the 2 white creatures on the right side. You pick up your Glamour Might, tap down the 5/3 Trampling Mist Meadow Council, and then hope.
And then you have a block.
Bounce.
Bounce, says Marco. And then tap down the big kid.
And now Takumi doesn't have a great attack here.
Yeah, he can activate that thing, but it's still
But then
not
you just,
amazing.
Marco just double blocks, so maybe you just pass at this point. And then the question is, do you play out the Foul Knight just to have an extra creature in play with that pump effect?
Probably.
Or do you prefer having the ability to give all your creatures first strike and attack next turn, and then Marco's just going to have to kind of chump block everything? It might still be better to just hold it in hand. And Takumi correctly decides that that is the case here, because next turn you have the ability to go Foul Knight, play land number 9, and still pump your team, and they all have first strike.
And the thing that you choose with the Lieutenant gets trampled too, right?
Right.
And that obviously
First strike trample is huge here for sure.
Because of all the small creatures here from Marco. And unfortunately for him, all he could find is an island off the top.
Yeah, so this
he does get in for 4.
This is just going to be a land Foul Knight here, or Foul Knight land, however you want to do this. Oh, that's a Spiral into Solitude, but I think he might just prefer the pump effect here. Yeah, trample on the council here, so that's a
and then a land
6/3 trampling first striker.
And then he can make even bigger.
It's not 5, it's 6, because the Foul Knight pumped it as well.
3, 2, 3, 2.
And this?
5.
6.
It's 6. Okay, well.
Because he did target it with the
He did target it with the Lieutenant, yes. So it is a 6/3 trampling first striker.
About the size of creatures.
Yeah.
So I had you indicating
Ah, 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
You did
Oh,
you
man.
see the trample.
MVP to the, for the
Judge
person
is
watching.
on
He
point.
is on top of it. This is rough. I mean, you're just straight up just chump blocking everything.
Right.
And Takumi's like, all right, I'll pump. Yeah, first strike and trample too, so this is just lethal,
And
right?
that's enough for lethal straight up. Wow.
Yeah.
Marco Belacca was able to hang around in that game for a period of time, but it never really felt like there was a chance for him to turn the corner on what Matsuura had put out.
And this is kind of what we were highlighting. Marco Belacca got to play Magic, played a bunch of stuff. Takumi's cards were just better.
Right.
Right?
Looks like Marco's on 6 this time. Takumi kept the opening 7.
It looks like he boarded in a Chomping Changeling. Very, very good against blue-white, as there's 2 common-based removal spells in both blue and white.
That's right. That are enchantments. Those ones are played often, and in fact, Marco has 1 of each, including 1 in his hand, by the way.
And there's a Preacher here, so probably going to play that out, make it unblockable, gain 2 life.
Yeah, the Gravigal Scoundrel really does enable a lot of the synergies that can happen with these needs to be tapped merfolk.
And block, so he's doing a good job with the race here.
Mm-hmm.
1 punish.
Takumi a little flooded here. Just a bunch of lands, a Timid Shieldbearer, and a Chomping Changeling. Doesn't have a good attack. Oh, never mind.
Off the top, not
All right,
bad.
Crossroads Watcher. That gives you pressure.
That is exactly the type of card that Marco would like to use a removal spell on at some point.
Right, like that Blossom Bind.
Exactly.
In which case that Chomping Changeling would be turned on.
With the Glamour Might, though, maybe.
Yeah, but that would be interesting if you had another 2-mana play to go
right.
with it.
So he could play Blossom Bind plus
you can still
the
keep
Gifter.
Yeah,
here.
you can still keep up the the glamour. Does Glamour Might untap permanents too? I don't think. I'm thinking
it does.
Might.
It does untap. Yeah.
Yeah, and taps and untaps creatures.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's just creatures.
Yeah. I just thought it was just a better Pestromite.
Well, he is going to go for the Glamour Might here.
Yeah. Blue-white skies.
Just had to be tempting for Marco to use Blossom Bind and then cast the Glamour Grifter and then, or Gifter, excuse me, and then, try to take advantage of the flash interaction there.
No, target?
Okay.
Yeah, not combat yet.
Now he says
Takumi's like, all right. Yeah, now we're going to tap it down. Yeah, I mean, this totally works. Flock Imposter, also very good against enchantment-based removal.
Yeah, this matchup just seems tough for Marco.
Yeah.
It's not that Matsuura is just raw overpowering him or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just, you know, kind of big tramplers are
Right.
a problem for Belacca.
Although this game, it does look pretty good here for Marco so
Yeah,
far.
he's still moving his game plan.
He's got, you know, 3 damage coming in of kind of 3 unblockable damage coming in. So that allows you to get some damage in, and you're going to go up to 26 this turn. You could perhaps use the Glamour Gifter. Oh, wow, a great draw here, too. Marrow Sky Swimmer
Okay.
off the top here. So more evasion. And you're just gaining 2 life every turn. I mean, that Preacher doing a lot of work.
It really is, because if he can continue to chip away in the air, this could be a game he could win.
Yeah, convoke it out, then tap down your 1/1 token to get in for 3 points of unblockable damage, still go to 26. Yep. Takumi down to 15 here. Marco firmly in the lead when it comes to life totals. Can Takumi find one of his powerful, you know, a Johnny,
Right.
Moon Vigil Adherence, something along those lines? Spry and Mighty, although right now all the creatures are kind of the same size here.
It's what, 2 2/2s and a 3/3?
Yeah, you can augment things a little bit with the Surly Farrier. You can pump the Crossroads Watcher, then cast Spry and Mighty for 2 potentially,
That
right?
seems good.
Yeah, draw some cards.
Okay.
Now, you are not adding to the board, and Marco's ahead in the life total. So it's like an okay thing to do, but it's not what you want to be doing at this point in the game.
So maybe something for a little bit later.
Yeah, the problem is there's not a lot of other great options here for Takumi, right? You can play out a Flock Imposter just to...
Is he just going to trade that off with one of the flyers?
Yeah, possibly just kind of ambush one of the
Yeah.
flyers. But then Marco has the Glamour Gifter. Yep.
Pick up.
Yeah. And then play that. It pumps again. So that is a 6/4 Vigilance Trampler.
1 2 3.
It's a nice chunk of damage, but Marco has some
He's at
wiggle
20.
room here.
Yeah. That Preacher doing a lot of work. So yeah, I mean, this Glamour Gifter is just going to be great here now, right? Just because Takumi is just going to block with the Changeling, the Flyer. And Marco can use the combat trick to get the Flyer out of the way and have an additional Flyer in play. I suppose the other option is to be a little more, just use Blossom Bind to kind of get the 2/2 out of the way.
And keep the damage flowing in the air.
Yeah, but getting that Glamour Gifter in play, this seems like a really good opportunity to just have it do something relevant. Anytime you can get a card off the Glamour Gifter, you're happy.
Yeah.
It's like, then you're just like, oh, it's a 2-mana 1/2 flyer that just killed something.
And there it is.
Yeah.
He used it as a removal spell, so
So now he can decide whether or not he wants to use the Blossom Bind here on the Crossroads Watcher,
6.
or do you want to be a little bit more patient? But, you know, you kind of don't want to leave mana on the table a lot of the time, especially because next turn you can cast that Thirst for Identity. So kind of a close-ish decision, but Marco is at 22, so maybe he feels he can afford to take the damage. So that's kind of what he's considering. And Takumi's going to be very happy that he will at least have a target here for the Changeling, but Marco's still very, very far ahead. Oh, actually, being patient here.
interesting. Perhaps saving the Blossom Bind for things that can interact with flyers only.
Yeah, and now the only option here for Takumi is going for the Spry and Mighty here. Probably use that Surly Farrier. Has to think about what 1-mana plays he has that he can draw off of the Spry and Mighty. Do you have, you know, a Wanderbrine Trapper or something along those lines?
It's like it's a green card in mine.
Okay. So draw 2.
Yeah. 2 go.
Draw 2 cards.
The Crossroads Watcher does have Vigilance. More lands.
Wow, that is rough. And these are each getting +2/+2.
So this is 10 damage coming in.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, 6 and 4.
Marco at 22, and with no sign of that Preacher leaving the battlefield, you know, his life total just keeps going up and up.
Actually choosing to block here. Okay.
Oh, it feels like he wants to keep his offense.
Right. I mean, Takumi's at 12. You have 5 in the air and the Gravel Gill Scoundrel. That puts your opponent on a 2-turn clock. I feel like you kind of want to keep the flyers around, and you do have the Blossom Bind here. Even if Takumi has something like a Chomping Changeling, the Watcher won't be able to attack that turn.
Right. Yeah, and he's just going to take it. That's the right play, it looks like. He's very much committed to this line of getting you dead in 2 turns in the air.
Also, you could just attack with everything, right? You just Blossom Bind the Crossroads Watcher, and all of a sudden you can just get in for
wow, way extra damage.
9 damage this turn, meaning it's so much more likely to be able to close the game out with any number of your evasive creatures. Now, the super greedy play, I'm sure people are thinking, cast Thirst for Identity, try to draw a land, discard Peddler, and play Blossom Bind. But I feel like you're probably going to win if you play this Blossom Bind. And if you don't draw a land, you're going to hate everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's the Blossom Bind, and in comes the squad. He's going to get that extra 2 life as well, so he'll be at 14.
Yeah, no reason, and they both have Vigilance and no reason to give anything unblockable, so
right.
I think we're going to see a game 3 here, Marshall.
This is how the Merfolk deck can win. Is there anything for Matsuura? Van finding 2 lands.
Yep.
Last turn, not good enough. And Marco Belacca evens things up at 1 game apiece. Takumi Matsuura looking for revenge from last round yesterday. Marco currently our only undefeated player. There's a slew of 7-1s.
Yeah.
They were all in the pod. And Takumi is one of them. And he'd love to even things up with Marco. And he just has to win this game to do it.
The Takumi, okay, keeping a 2-lander there. Oh, I saw an Johnny. But did he keep a 2-lander?
It's feeling like
I think it was.
Yeah,
so he needs
and no
to
green mana
find
either.
a land. Oh, and turn 2 Mentor here. It's exactly how you want to start here.
This is one of his best starts. And by the way, he flashes for the
Sky Swimmer.
bestow the Sky Swimmer, which is,
all right, land.
This is the perfect card for
land.
it. Did he just miss?
I think he just missed. You see that sheepish smile here.
Takumi, no.
That is rough. He kept the 2-lander. No 3rd land. Can't play out the Ajani.
And there will be no block here from Marco because he wants to get this Sky Swimmer down. Oh. And look at that, the pass of the turn. No 3rd land drop for Belacca.
Hey, look, sometimes
blood
you curve
in the
out.
water.
Yeah, you curve out. Your opponent misses a beat. You can. That's how you can still steal games.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, Marco built his deck for this. Just, I'm going to just play out my stuff. Yeah, it's not the most amazing in the world, but he should be pretty consistent with deploying his game plan. There's land number 3, though, for Matsuura, and that'll get him a Johnny on the battlefield.
Will that be enough? I feel like it might be a little bit late. We have that evasive flyer. You do get to make a 1/1 token here.
And that's going to be the +1, so up to 4.
So it'll go down to 2 next turn. Also, the 4 damage to tap creature won't really work on the Sky Swimmer.
Really rough, because that's the one you'd want to take out.
So any removal spell here would kill the Ajani, because you get the 2/2 out of the way. The 2/1 gets blocked by the 1/1, and you can deal 4 damage here to the Ajani. But not Noggle the Mind, because that doesn't actually remove. Oh, but he's got Glamour Gifter. So Glamour Gifter just is a clean answer to the Ajani with the flyer, if that's what you want to do. Yeah, in fact, Marco has a land here, so you can double spell this turn. This is actually looking very, very good here. Glamour Gifter turning something into a 4/4, and just the Sky Swimmer alone, but you can also just choose to attack with everything if you'd like.
Yeah, and you know, if he does that, he could put himself in a very good spot.
Yeah, I think you just do it with the flyer. Yep, yep. This is great. A Johnny down. That was like Takumi's main route to victory. Yeah, with that sigh, you're like, yeah, I'm in a tough spot here.
He knows.
Yeah.
This is very, very difficult to come back from.
Okay, but he's still finding lands. Now, there is a little bit of hope. At least if you're on Takumi's side, he does have Pummeler for Hire in hand.
Oh.
That's a card that lets you gain the 4 life and gives you a big reach creature to stop down the flyers. Now, we know that Marco does have the Noggle the Mind, so he would have the answer for that. But, you know, if you're in Takumi's seat, that's kind of what you're trying to play to.
Absolutely. He's going to play the Council to draw a card and hopefully keep those land drops flowing. But for now, he's just going to pass the turn back over.
And this is 5 damage coming in.
blue-white flyers here for Marco Belacca, trying to stay undefeated after the perfect day one.
Yeah, here, given Marco's hand, I would imagine this is a fairly straightforward peddler, land, preacher, attack with flyer situation, unless you want to keep up Noggle the Mind. I just don't think an attack with anything other than the flyers would be particularly strong here.
5 grams.
Yep.
There's the peddler. And he's just going to keep up
Okay,
Noggle.
keep up Noggle, sure. I guess the preacher doesn't do that much on this board. Perhaps you might even be interested.
Hey, there's a land off the top
there
too.
Is a land, so
And the Noggle's not going to do anything this turn on it.
right, because the pummeler has Ward 2.
Right.
Excuse me, they're both pummelers, but actually they're both reach creatures, by the way, and there's only a Noggle.
1 card. 2 card.
Yeah, I mean, the alternative line is to play out the pummeler, the Wildvine pummeler first to, you could gain a little bit extra
Need
life.
2 extra life, and it still is a thing that needs to be dealt with.
However, with Marco with 2 mana up, if you think he's on Noggle, you want to play, of course, the ward creature instead.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you attack with the Mist Meadow Council and maybe Marco uses a Noggle there, then you're looking really great.
Nope, he's just going to go for Pummeler for hire.
Gain 4.
Gain 4, and the Noggle the Mine has to stay in hand here.
Yeah, and now if you're Marco, you kind of just have to use the Noggle here.
And you just want to do it pre-combat so that reach is gone.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a great draw, though. Unexpected assistance.
Oh, man, that's
to dig
beautiful.
for some more interaction here from Marco.
That was probably one of his best draws.
Yeah, especially with that Peddler, you get to look 4 cards deep,
And
if you can tap it down for the Convoke cost.
Exactly, and he has such a board state that he gets to cast it for more or less free. Oh, interesting. Is he going to try to just bait a block and then do it?
Yeah, what if you block the Sprite?
The 2/1 though would die.
That's a little, yeah.
This is why I think you just want to do it.
You can
now.
do it before blocks.
Yeah, I would say, okay, fine. I did attack with a Sprite, but I'm
Yeah.
just going to do it before blocks.
And now you have to think something's up here if you're Takumi. You're like, all right, you didn't attack me with the 2/1. What's going on here? Like, it's not the +2/+2 for a strike spell.
Right,
Because you would have
exactly.
attacked with the 2/1. It's kind of
But what is he going to do? Not block?
Right. It kind of has to be the Noggle. Yeah. I mean, if you think it's a Noggle, you're gonna kind of. The thing is, it's only 3 damage. So perhaps
That's interesting.
There's a world where you can maybe try to just be a little bit patient here and just take the 3. Or you go, I make you use the Noggle now, and then I can just play my other reach creature in the Wildvine Pummeler. Marco would still be able to play the unexpected. Oh, by the way, he even gets a Surveil 2. So he gets a Surveil 2 and draw 4 and discard a card. So he's going to be able to really sculpt his next draw.
He's going to see so many cards.
So many cards.
6 cards. Yeah, Takumi just says, okay, well, you're going to have to use up your turn here effectively.
Yep. Sadly, it doesn't, though, because Marco has that unexpected assist.
Yeah, that unexpected assistance was huge. Because of this, he needed to more or less tap out to take care of the pummeler, but he still gets to cast 5 mana worth of instant here.
Absolutely.
1 damage.
He took 1 damage there. That's the interesting part. It could have been 5.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I don't think I really want to
does a 1/1
give Matsuura
matter?
that much time.
But the flip side is Takumi has ways to destroy enchantments, right? So if that stays in play, if Takumi finds a Chomping Changeling or
That's
an
a
Imposter,
disaster.
you just get to play that and that's really bad.
that's
so
true. You're
that's
right.
a heads-up play, I think.
Yeah, you're right. This somehow is, it's funny because I kind of thought the other play was safer, but this is actually the safer play.
All right, Marco here going to basically really likely to find an interactive spell, I'm going to say, for the pummeler here.
So Surveil 2, loot once, draw 3, discard 1.
Yeah, it's like trigger, 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 what happens?
So many cards just visually.
So Surveil first. Ooh, 2 lands it looks like. Get those out of there.
That worked out.
Yeah. And then now you got to loot.
Because that was part of the cost. No, it's loot.
It's not
loot.
rummage. It's not.
Yeah.
Marco's a goblin player.
Right. Although he also predicted the future, it looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
And then just discard an island. What did he
That's a
find,
lot of
though?
lands, though.
Meander's Guide.
Meander's Guide. Oh, nope.
And there it
Now it's a
is.
Spiral into Solitude.
As predicted.
Yeah. And a Glamour Might.
Yeah,
here. So
for his draw step.
this kind of has to be a Spiral into Solitude here. Get in for 5.
And Spiral's much less vulnerable. As long as you can keep the mana up, you can kind of fire that off whenever you want.
Right.
Including in response to somebody saying, I'm going to destroy it.
Right.
And Takumi says, yeah, I mean, you just saw like 6 cards. I guess I can't really hope for something better.
Yeah, I think you want to attack for 5 here. Then end of turn, you can flash into Glamour Might, get additional Surveil triggers, right? So now all of a sudden, you get to Surveil 2 and put another flyer in play to go with the Sprite.
Fairies and Merfolk teaming up really well here for Marco Belacca.
Can Takumi find in another reach creature here to kind of get in the way of all of these flyers?
Yeah, because Takumi seems more, you know, combat oriented rather than I'm trying to like control the board or kill your stuff.
Right.
His deck is capable of producing tremendous power, toughness, trample, first strike, everything. But, you know, cards like Glamour Might are really annoying when you have these temporary pump effects.
Marco, a couple of options. I mean, you could just put some creatures in the way. There is an active Timid Shield Bearer, which can potentially put it up to a 5/4. You can also just chump with a token.
Just take it.
Yeah.
No block.
It's just like, all right, I'll just take it. I don't want to 3-for-1 myself here. And this is a little bit awkward here for Takumi because he can't double spell. He's got 6 mana and a 4-drop and a 3-drop. So what he can do, though, is play a 3-mana play and convoke out a Sun Dappled Celebrant. And if he does, though, the Glamour Might would just tap down the 5/6 and you get a huge attack in. And that's, I believe, what's going to happen. Oh, no, he had the lands. Never mind. So he has two creatures here.
There's a
Yeah,
Glamour Might,
Surveil.
too.
Oh, Temporal Cleansing.
Jeez, he's just finding exactly what he needs.
I mean, you're going to cleanse the 5/6. So might as well
Exactly.
tap the 3/3.
And that's really bad news for Matsuura because he's going to go, wait, well, why are you tapping that instead of, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Now, he doesn't have lethal here, though, right?
No, I don't think so. That's 5 on the left, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, that's 13 damage.
Is it 13?
That's exactly 13, right? 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that is 13. This is lethal here.
Wow, so Marco Belacca is about to take round number 1 of draft 2 and stay undefeated?
I mean, Takumi put up a hell of a fight after missing that land drop here, but
Yeah.
this Merfolk deck firing on all cylinders here. Boom.
And that's game?
It's 13.
No,
That doesn't- nope.
Attack
No,
it.
you have
Yeah.
to attack with it. Yeah.
It is not as busted as it
No.
might seem.
No, that card is hard to make work, the Meander's Guide, but it's not relevant here.
It doesn't matter. This just add up the power, and you'll get to 13.
Oh. It's like, wait. What am I missing?
Just double checking. We're trying to stay undefeated at the Pro Tour here.
Right.
5, 7, 9, 11, 13.
Oh. He kind of stumbled into the victory there, but it counts nonetheless.
I don't think he thought he had the win there.
No.
Like he was just making all the correct plays.
I assumed he didn't either until
Right.
you were like, wait, that actually is just
Yeah.
enough. He's got a peddler trigger here, but it doesn't matter. That is going to be Marco Belacca working his way through a difficult matchup and ultimately finding victory and staying undefeated. here in Richmond. Incredible performance from him and a very close match. You can see the stress kind of rolling off of him after he picked up the victory there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we keep talking about it. We were kind of a little bit disappointed with kind of how the draft was going. Definitely got saved a little bit there at the end of Pack 3. But at the end of the day, when he kind of laid out his deck, we were like, hey, this is a completely functional deck. If your opponent hiccups just a little bit, you can still easily win these games with all the interactive spells, because he had so many well-timed interactive spells with some of that card draw that he had that allowed him to kind of take that over, especially with Takumi missing that third land drop.
Yeah, that third land drop was really rough, and then losing a Johnny straight away, also very difficult. All right, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be back at the news desk. Don't go anywhere.